Deputy Speaker, and as I say, it's a pleasure to follow the honourable gentleman, though I will reach a slightly different conclusion to him. And may I just say, Madam Deputy Speaker, that though she's not in the chamber, can I remark on the principled stand of the lady for Lewisham North, not only today but for her decision last night, and I think it will stand her in good political stead. Madam Deputy Speaker, my colleagues and I will be voting against third reading today, and that should come as no surprise to honourable and right honourable members in this House. We don't do it from a party political perspective, though we will all act as one. We don't do it because of a whip, though we will act as one out of our common but personal faith. But we are equally assured that our beliefs won't be a determining factor today. We understand that in parliamentary terms, just because we hold a view doesn't mean that everyone in this room will hold the same view, and our votes are equal. But we are right to know that the question before us today is not on principle or not on any bill, it is on this bill. And when we heard honourable and right honourable members say very clearly and very forcefully at second reading that they wish to start the parliamentary process to see how it evolved, to see how this legislation could be strengthened, to see what safeguards could be put in place, we are assured that this bill is in a worse position today, Madam Deputy Speaker, than it was at second reading. We heard 61 honourable and right honourable members specify judicial involvement in this process. We heard another 20 talk about and articulate their support for this legislation on the basis of legal safeguards, yet they are gone. We have been honourable in listening, but I think we honourably have to reflect that this bill is not where it should be. That the assurances that were offered during second reading have been removed, that the balance that was promised on the bill committee was not there, that the protections that were offered and suggested have been stripped away. Madam Deputy Speaker, I spoke to a constituent just yesterday, and she told me that when she was diagnosed for cancer for the first time, she approached it with a level of determination that surprised her, and she survived. And when she was diagnosed the second time, she approached it with a level of despair that had this bill been available to her then, she would have availed of it. She would have satisfied the conditions on the basis of medical advice at that time. And yet she was telling me this story yesterday, and that diagnosis was in 2012. The quote that I shared at second reading is as true today as it was said 120 years ago. Medicine is the science of uncertainty and the art of probability. There is nothing that can be determined to the point of legal certainty or, for our perspective, moral certainty. And so I want to say to colleagues across the House, not those who, like me, have a defined and determined position, a principled position from which you will not yield, but for those who are actively thinking about what to do today. I say to the parliamentarians, the parliamentary process has not served us well. Whatever about the length of time the House of Lords will debate and vote upon each and every amendment, we have not, and we are not allowed. To the socialists in this chamber, you speak proudly of the values of the NHS, you speak proudly of the values of welfare, and you want to stand up for those principles, so think about what you do today. To the internationalists, it is not in your tradition to turn the other cheek or walk on the other side of the road. You do not turn your back on the weak and the vulnerable, on the oppressed and the burdened, so please do not do it today. This bill and your say on it will be final, but the final say that you have today will be final in a much more fundamental way for our constituents and for our loved ones throughout this United Kingdom. I ask you to approach this bill and your perspective on it on the basis of your principles alone. To the trade unionists, what do the trade unions say? Those royal colleges, college after college after college, expressing their concerns, expressing their fear, expressing their trepidation for how they will not stand over their members in pursuit of this bill. They have concerns, and we don't need to think in the abstract. In this chamber we voted for medicinal cannabis. How many medicinal practitioners are prescribing it? They're not, because their trade unions, their governing bodies, do not support them or insure them in that endeavour. This bill is not what has been outlined, not what has been promised, and not as good as this chamber could make it. And on those bases and the principles that I know many of you hold so dear, I hope you reflect honourably, not only on what you said at second reading, but to yourselves, on the basis of the principles of socialism or internationalism or trade unionism that you have, and do what we will do. Vote for light, vote for hope, and vote for life.
Yeah.